Good afternoon, students. Welcome to Sri Chaitanya, India's largest exam platform. Now, today we are to talk about, India's brightest begin with the journey SCORE exam, right? So what is in there? We are to, as we discussed in the previous videos also, what is in there that if you will get into this concept, here in this exam, you enroll yourself, you will be winning the cash rewards, you will be having the scholarships, you will be having the NASA trips, and even exciting gadgets are there, and we have up to 100% scholarships to compete in India's largest exam, which is NEET, because this session is meant for NEET SCORE. Now, next. So as discussed in the previous also, like we will be having the exam pattern. So I'm just recapitulating what we discussed earlier also, and have to have some idea about the test pattern and the syllabus. So I'm just in there. Test type will be definitely it is up to the NEET test, and we are having a duration of 120 minutes, and the question type will be MCQs only. In physics, we will be having 30 questions. In chemistry, we will be having 30 questions. Botany, 30. Zoology, 30. And as we discussed earlier also, we are having the same, the syllabus pattern there, units dimension, motion in a straight line, motion in a plane, laws of motion, work power energy, system of particles, rotational motion. Means whole mechanics. It will be tested in this SCORE exam. And when you talk about the chemistry, in the chemistry, we are having some basic concepts of chemistry, then structure of the atom, classification of elements, and periodicity in the properties, chemical bonding, molecular structure, and the thermodynamics. And in the botany, we will be having cell, unit of life, cell cycle, cell division, living world, biological classification, and morphology of the flowering plants. And last, our favorite, NEET students' favorite, that is zoology, that is biomolecules, breathing, and exchange of the gases, body fluids and circulation, excretory products and their elimination, and locomotion and movement. So you just take a screenshot of it, you can have the idea about the syllabus. Now let's move on to next. Very important, before you get all these scholarships, you get everything like the reward, and the best part, you have to compete with India's topmost brains, which they will be competing with you. So don't forget to register in the SCORE, and we are having our exam dates 28th of September and 12th of October. So don't forget, here the link is mentioned in it. So do register yourself as early as possible, because registrations are going at a good pace. Now, like, comment, and share. It's very, very important, because if you like, comment, share, and especially you put a bell button on there, you won't forget any session of it. Okay. So next, today our topic of discussion will be kinematics. One of the very best topic, one of the very easy topic. How to crack this topic, we'll focus on that today. And it is very, very simple one, I tell you. It's such a good topic and simple topic that if you just use the fundamentals, today I will be focusing more on how to solve the questions very quickly when you are dealing with the word of kinematics. You know what is kinematics? In the definition of the kinematics, what do we have? We have the motion we are to talk about, but in that motion, we never consider the cause of motion. We never consider the cause of motion. Like if you throw a body up, if you kick the body, or if by any some means you do anything, you project a body, it doesn't mean how you have brought that motion into the body, but the body is in the motion. So where we never talk about the cause, but we talk about the motion of the body only, irrespective of the shape and size, because in kinematics, what is best part, we talk about the point object only. So let's master this concept. Before mastering this concept, I just want to share one more thing, that in the last lecture, we have discussed the dimensions. I hope you have taken the screenshot of it. It was a very good question from the alien bird, and some new pattern was, I have shared it with you, that you have to use the dimensions in there, how to apply that method. So I mean, You take a screenshot of it, solve the question, get me the answer. If you didn't get, send me, we'll be solving that too. Okay. Now, kinematics. What is kinematics? As I just said, it is what? Science which deals with the motion, but cause of motion is not supposed to be considered. It's very simple, and let's approach what is in there. In today's topic, in kinematics, today we will be talking about, no doubt, introduction to the kinematics. We discussed that. What is that? Cause of the motion is not to be considered, only what is happening with the body we are to talk about. And we are having the types of motion like 1 dimension, 2 dimension, 3 dimension. And 1 dimension means what? When out of 3 coordinates, only 1 coordinate is changing. And out of 3 coordinates, if 2's are changing, that's called 2-dimensional motion or planar motion. And 3D is termed as the space motion, where all the 3 coordinates are changing with the time. So in this, while dealing with this concept, beta, we will be focusing on displacement, velocity and acceleration. Everybody is aware of displacement, velocity and acceleration. But I just want to bring one thing in your notice. There is a difference between displacement word and a position vector word. So I let you to have this answer. What is the difference between position vector and the displacement vector? So I give you this question, you just answer by your own. Okay. So next point, we are having equations of motion. So definitely everybody is aware of, we'll be having that upcoming slide there. We have written the equations also. What are the equations of motion? It means when you are dealing with this concept, with the equations of motion, then you see how all the parameters can be correlated. So I tell you, only 3 equations are there, but I always prefer 2 equations to solve any question of kinematics. Any question of kinematics, but bit of small condition is there. I can't say the whole, but I can say I usually prefer to solve all the questions of kinematics with 2 equations only, which are very near to me, and I believe that these are the best equations. But condition is there. I will tell you what is that condition. Now there comes the projectile motion basics. Since though we are to talk about the kinematics, and kinematics we study the cause only, so whether you are talking about the motion in a straight line or whether you throw a body, projectile motion. So both the happenings are there, but there is no need of how the motion is brought, but it is the motion is happening only. Am I right? And we will definitely some recap and recapitulate the concepts at the end next. So what we are going to discuss in this concept, we will discuss the bit of idea, as everybody is aware of, what is the concept of origin, of position, and what the time. What is it? We will be discussing this. And after that, we are having how to apply the kinematic equations. So I have taken a few of the questions where I will be using the very fundamental. When I will discuss this point, first point, then I will let you know that how to apply this method with using the concept of kinematical equations. So in this point, you should be focusing on, you must be with your copy and pen. That is very, very important. If you want to understand this concept, so I request you, I advise you that you should be with your copy and pen, because physics can't be done without copy and pen. So I want you should be writing on your copy when we will be discussing something in there. See, and in the third point, we will use some bit of calculus method. Everybody is aware of, sir, in kinematics, we apply the calculus method. So what is it? It is very simple, beta, very simple. Calculus is very, very good gift given by the God to us, am I right? And calculus method help you to solve or to understand physics fundamental. So never ever think of, sir, wherever calculus means wherever differentiation, integrations are happening, and you think of that, sir, differentiation, integration I'm not aware of. So I tell you very frankly, these equations are very simple. The values to be used, which we use in the NEET Physics, are very simple. So don't bother about it. Don't worry about it. Hardly you need a simple fundamentals to it, nothing else. Okay. So in the fourth point, definitely we'll be discussing the projectile motion, and I will tell you, stay tuned to this. Am I right? So you will be knowing that how a projectile motion can be solved, and I tell you in the last, when you will see your copy, you will be able to solve any question of projectile motion after we will finish up with the last section of the projectile motion. Now, let's move on to the equations of motion. V is equal to u plus at and x is equal to x naught plus ut plus half at square, and v square is equal to what beta? U square plus 2ax minus x naught, and dnf is equal to u plus a by 2 into 2n minus 1. So I just want to tell you that when you say this word, sir, these equations of motion are applicable to everywhere. Then answer comes, yes, it is applicable to everywhere. But one condition is there, beta, that while using this concept, you should be considering the uniform acceleration. You should be considering this. It is very, very important. Now, what is in there? See, sir, if I consider a straight line, should I apply here? Yes, beta, you can apply. Sir, I am using some curved path. Should I use this equation of kinematical equation, sir? Yes, sir, because we are to deal with the, because when we are talking about the small creatures, then we talk about the equations only, which are very, very simple to us. Am I right? Even, sir, if I apply a circular motion, there is a question also in there. When you apply a body and body is moving along a circular path with some acceleration, there is u, there is v. So if acceleration is uniform, translational, or you could say tangential acceleration is uniform, then also you can apply this fundamental. So I hope you have understood this idea. Let me tell you again. If acceleration is uniform, then we can apply all these four equations anywhere we want to. That is it, irrespective of the path to be considered. So here circular path, and if your tangent acceleration is constant, then you can also apply for the same. Okay, next. See, as we are to discuss in this concept, I just want to brief you of one very, very good point. That is very simple. Sir, when I solve question, how to start the question? Now see, how to start the question. When you say how to start the question, I just want to tell you, like if one of your friend is at O and other friend is at A, am I right? And intermediate points we marked P and Q. Intermediate points we marked what? P and Q. So what happens? He said, where are you? He said to this point, you let me call this person as a you. He said, you, where are you? Am I right? Then he said, right now I am at O. So he'll be marking x is equal to 0 as the origin. X is equal to 0 as the origin. And then he says, let me consider the angle, the distance between these, are only 10 meter each. Let me consider just for the sake of simplicity. Am I right? Just for the sake of simplicity. He said, okay, just tell me your position. Where are you? Then you said, I am at O. So we'll be marking x is equal to 0 here. When he said, explain what will be your journey, then he will say, what? He will say, yeah, I will be at 10 meter. I will be at 10 meter to point P. Then I am 20 meter from point Q, and from you it is only 30 meter. So I'll be marking this as x is equal to 10 here, x is equal to 20 here, and x is equal to what, beta? 30 here. So that is a very, very simple concept. So means whatever distance we measure, we will always measure from wherever you have marked x is equal to 0. Wherever you have marked x is equal to 0, you will be considering the distances from that point only. Okay. So in the same way, if you consider that this point is there, this point is also there, then in this point, what do we say? If this is O, this is A, this is, you call as a P, this is Q, and this point is what, beta? A. Now, what is said to you? It is said, in case of time, he said, where are you? Then you said, right now, I am at O. Let me consider the time difference is only 10 seconds. Just want to understand the concept in a good way. Let me consider only 10 seconds. So if he says, where are you? He said, yeah, I am at O. Where you will be? He will say, in 10 seconds, I will be at P. In 20 seconds, I will be at Q. And in 30 seconds, I will reach to you. Am I right? So what I mean, wherever I have marked T0, I will be considering all the times from where I have marked T is equal to 0. I think this idea is very clear. So this Tx0 is called as origin for position measurement. This T0 is called as origin for time measurement. So it is very, very important point. You should note, though it looks like it's very simple, no doubt it is very simple, but the thing is, when we will apply, we must be knowing these ideas, this thought process with us, which is x is equal to 0 and what beta? T is equal to what? The 0. I think idea is very clear. Am I right? Now let's move on to next point. Let's move on to next point now. See. Now next point says, next point says that when you are talking about origin, what is the meaning of it? See, let me consider, we are to consider a journey of point P and we are to consider a journey of point Q. Am I right? And let me consider this is the destination. This is the destination. So just for the, the sake of simplicity, let me consider P is starting its journey from this point and Q is starting its journey from this point. When, very importantly beta, when I'm using the word starting, starting journey, so it simply means I have to put T is equal to 0. I have to put T is equal to what? 0. So what do we say? What do we say for it? Then when you put T is equal to 0 here, so for P beta, P is starting its journey from this point, so you will be putting T is equal to 0 for P here only. Am I right? That is the first point. And for Q, you are putting T is equal to 0 here only, because Q will start its journey from this point and P will start its journey from this point. Now listen very carefully. Sir, just I want to talk about, sir, what are the origins? Let me use this color. Sir, what is the origin for, sir, P and Q? Now it is very, very important. It does look like that, sir, if the point is to be used this, then what is the use of T0 and X0? I will tell you when we will solve the questions. Okay, see, origin for P. So I can say T0 and X0 for the point P, they are lying at same point. They are lying at the T0 is here only and X is equal to 0 here only. For P point, they are lying at the same point. But when you are talking about Q, T0 is lying here, but Q is measured, the distance position of the Q is measured from X is equal to 0 here. So I have to put X is equal to what, beta? X naught. I have to put X is equal to what? X naught. So that is why I just want to share this thing, why I have mentioned this X is equal to X naught, because in normal, the classes, in the normal books, they usually write S is equal to UT plus half AT square. They usually write what, beta? S is equal to UT plus half AT square. So what I want, you must be knowing this. What do you mean by this term? Because it is of very importance. Because X is equal to X naught plus UT plus half AT square. So this diagram itself will explain you what does it mean. It means you will be putting X0 here. It means start of the journey of this body is considered to be here with the speed U, putting T as what, beta? 0, and the position as X naught, the distance from there. Am I right? And when it lies to this point, then it reaches in time T and its velocity become what? V, and acceleration become what, beta? A only, am I right? And there it is what? X is equal to X. Now you can see with it, X is equal to X naught is the position measured from this position, and X is equal to X is the position measured from this position, am I right? And the difference between these two, X and X naught, is termed as S, which you usually find in the in the books. S is equal to UT plus half AT square. So what is my very strong advice to you all, beta? First thing, like, subscribe, comment, don't forget, and must remember this thing, that X minus X naught is S, and S is equal to what? UT plus what, beta? Half AT square. Done. So I hope you have understood this idea. When we will solve the question, I will say, beta, have you written T is equal to 0? Beta, have you written X is equal to 0? If you have written this idea, it means your question is 100% you will be able to solve the question. 100%. It's not even the 99%. Now, so this was there for the origin, for position and the time. Now let me give you a very simple question. Let me give you a very simple question. Very simple question. A body is moving in a straight line. A body is moving in a straight line, and its speed is what? U. Just telling you one example that how to solve this question. You will be putting X is equal to 0 here. You will be putting X is equal to X naught here, and at time T, and this is time T as what? The 0, and this is acceleration, and this is what? The V. I tell you, beta, this is the one diagram which is very, very important. If you know this diagram, how to solve this ideas, then it will be very, very good. Now, I think it's very easy approach, so not to worry about anything. Now, let's see. See, so there I am having a very first question related to the score. That is a very simple question also. I will be using the same facts, okay? Will be using the same facts where I have mentioned T0, X0, and I will be drawing the question. See, in the question, what is given? Two bodies, they are thrown simultaneously from a tower with same initial velocity, which is V0, and that is given to me. Am I right? And one is projected vertically upwards, and other is projected vertically downwards, and the distance between the two bodies after time T will be, I think, idea is very clear. Let me recapitulate. Let me have the discussion of this topic like a numerical again. Two bodies which are thrown simultaneously with the velocity V0, V0 up and V0 down. Then after time T, what would be the separation or the distance between the bodies? Now listen very carefully how to solve this question. It's given from the tower. Okay, now let's solve. See, when you consider a tower like this, now I advise, beta, I really advise you, I'm solving this question, just getting back, take a screenshot of it, am I right? And we will be solving this question now. Take a screenshot of it. Two bodies, they are thrown simultaneously from a tower with the same initial velocity V0, one up, other down. So what would be their separation between them after time T? See, how to solve. See, this is the body. One body is thrown in the upward direction, beta, with the V0. Other body is thrown in the downward direction with the V0. Am I right? So, question I will solve, like, I will tell you that what is the parameter to be used. Solve by your own only. Okay, I will be giving you the hints only. Right now, hints in the sense, we will be discussing each and everything, but you just need to solve by your own. This is T is equal to 0, and let me mark, it is also X is equal to what, beta? 0 only. It is X also what? X is equal to 0 only. So when you solve this question, you will be using the idea, and what is that idea? Because question asked is for the displacement. Now listen, what was the value, beta? It was X is equal to X naught plus UT plus what, beta? Half AT square. Since in this concept we are having the gravity which is acting in the downward direction and most importantly, nothing is given to us where the bodies are, since this expression can be treated in a vector form, So let me write, because I am focusing on the y-axis, I am focusing right now on the y-axis, let me write it as y-axis only. Let me write it as y-axis only. Let me write it as what, beta? Y-axis only. So I will be writing y vector is equal to y naught vector plus u vector t plus half a vector t square. That is the formula. Okay. Now, how to solve this question? You can see, beta, you have projected the body from this point only. T0, Y0. So this signifies that bodies are projected from the same point. So their Y0 is also what? The 0. Because it is T is equal to 0, it is projected from this point only. So when you put the values for body 1 and for body 2. So body 1 we can write Y1 vector is equal to what? Y1 vector is equal to Y0 will be 0 only, beta. And U vector, see, you take upward direction positive and downward direction as what, beta? Negative. So U vector upward is taken as positive. So we will be writing V0 T. Gravity is acting in the downward direction. It will be minus half G T square. This is for body 1. And for body 2, you may write it as Y2. You may write it as what, beta? Y2. And when you are writing it for Y2, Y2 will be again, it is projected in the downward direction. So it must be minus V0 T. And gravity is no doubt acting in the downward directions only. So it will be like what? Minus half GT square. So when you take the subtraction, that is Y1 minus Y2, and what we are getting for it? We are getting V0 T minus V0 T, because this will get cancelled, and we are getting 2 V0 T as our answer. So this was the answer. If you see, this was the answer. Option number 2 that was given. I think idea is very clear. It was very simple idea, that when you solve the question, put T0, put Y0 and start the journey of the concept. Very simple. Okay. I think this idea is very much clear to you all. This idea is very clear. Okay, done. Now, this is also a very good question. Very nice, very good question. I picked it up and I just really appreciate this question also, because it will give you the full boost of the kinematics and the motion under gravity. Now, see. Let me give you some idea. Let me give you some idea about this idea, like V is equal to U plus AT and X is equal to X naught plus UT plus what, beta? Half A T square. Let me write that. Am I right? You know, I said these are the vector equations. These are the vector equations. So I give you one homework for it. Give me V square is equal to U square plus 2A X minus X naught. Whether this equation is a scalar or vector. So this is a homework for you. Just need to think, because we are going for the SCORE exam. So we must be knowing that how to interpret whether this is a scalar equation or a vector equation. Nice. See it. Now let's solve this question now. The previous question, just take a screenshot of it. So what is the question? Two balls, they are dropped from a same height on the two planets, different places, A and B. Rather, the word used is places means the planets. Am I right? Where the acceleration gravities are GA and GB. Body at B takes T seconds less. Body at B takes what? T seconds less. And to reach the ground, and when it reaches the ground, it strikes with a velocity which is greater than A by how much? V meter per second. So this is the way, they are expecting, and the best part of it is they are expecting from us, a question is expecting from us what is the value of V by T. The question is expecting from us V by T. And I think everybody have known the answer. I know you have seen the screen, and you will see the option number 4 is there, which is root of GA and GB. Let's solve this question. Okay. See, what is the idea? Two balls were given to you. Places were also given to you. Gravities GA, GB are given. When B is taken, for B it is said it takes t second less than A, but it hits the ground with a speed V more than A. So let's see what is in this concept. See bete. Mark down bete. It is a planet A, and this is a planet B. It's a planet A and planet B. Let's work on the planets now. See, what is in there? See, this is the height h, because they were dropped from the same height that was given. If you see the screenshot, there you will see they were dropped from the same height. See, now what happens? Its U is what? 0 for both. U is 0 for both. When it is going to hit the ground, let me consider it take time t naught. I'll be putting t0 here and x0 here. And there it is x is equal to h. You see beta, I have solved 2 questions. Right now also I'm discussing about it. And what I'm focusing on? I'm focusing on I should not forget putting t0 and x0. That is very important. Don't forget this. It is very, very important. Don't forget. This is the very fundamental. Usually students ignore this fact. Sir, putting t0, what it matters? Because when you are solving the question, t0 give you the understanding, yes, from this point you have to consider the start of the motion. Okay. So there I am writing t is equal to t naught time and x is equal to what? H. So when you are putting for planet B, it is t is 0, x is 0 for it also, am I right? And when it is going to hit the ground, let you consider it is hitting with the V naught speed. It is hitting with the V naught speed. So for planet B, as in the question said, it takes t seconds less. It gives what? T seconds less. If he says t seconds less, so this time taken is, you can say it is t naught minus t. T is equal to what? T naught minus t. And when you say what is the value of sir x, no doubt it will be h only. No doubt it will be h only. Sorry. And with what velocity it will hit? V naught plus v. Because in the question it was given, it hits the ground with a velocity v meter per second, which is more than a. So there it was hitting with v naught. Now here it is hitting with what? V naught plus v. Done. See beta. How to solve this question now? I'm giving you 20 seconds just to think over it. See, let's solve this question now. I hope you have understood the idea. So, the idea is like when it is being dropped, U0, hitting the ground with V naught, it is hitting the ground with V naught plus V. It is taking time T naught to hit, T naught time to take, and this is taking T naught minus T time, because it is said it takes less time. Am I right? See, if you are writing for V naught will be GA T naught as first expression. Second, H will be half GA T naught square. H will be what? Half GA T naught square. And when you talk about the right side B, it is V naught plus V. V naught plus V is equal to what, GB into T naught minus T. T naught minus T. Am I right? And how about the next value? H. H will be half GA T naught minus T whole square. I think idea is very clear. I think idea is very clear. Okay. See. Just rewriting this for you again. Planet see, writing here again for you. Planet A was happening, planet B was happening, and it was happening for the height h. It was happening for the height h, and there you marked T0, x as what beta? 0, and there it is hitting with the speed v0, and time taken is what? T0, and ax is what? H. So what is the value to be written for it? v0 is equal to GA T0. GA T0. And how about the value of H has to be written between? H is equal to what? Half GA T0 square for planet A. And if you are writing for the planet B beta, what is the writing for the planet B? Again, dropped, hitting the ground with a speed v0 plus v and with t 0 and time taken as what beta? T0 minus t. Am I right? And what to write for again? Velocity. What is the velocity with which it is hitting the ground? v0 plus v. Formula I am using what? You know, v is equal to u plus at beta. So v0 plus v is equal to u as what? 0, a as what? G, time as what beta? T0 minus t. Am I right? That is the first expression. And in the second expression, h will be what? Half GB T0 minus t whole square. Half GB T0 minus t whole square. So we are getting these two expressions for planet B, these two expressions for planet A. So let me write just to give you the advice how to solve this idea. First beta, equate these two equations. When you equate these two equations, you are getting half GA T0 square is equal to what beta? Half GB T0 minus t whole square. This half get cancelled, and from there you get the value of T0 minus t by T0 is equal to root of GA by root of GB, because there you have taken there only, and it is taken as the inverse of the ratio, so we are writing like this. So I can take 1 minus t by T0 is equal to root GA by root GB. So from there I can calculate beta the value of t by T0. So it goes to that side, it goes to that side. Answer comes out to be root GB minus root GA by root GB. So this is my prime equation to be used. Am I right? Now second equation, how I can use beta? Because I have to use this equation now. I'm just telling you how to use. V0 is equal to what beta? V comes to that side. So it is like keep V on the left hand side, take V0 to the other side and expand this bracket. GB T0 minus GB T, then is what beta? Minus V0. And what is the value of V0 given to you? GA T0. What is the value of VA given to you? GA T0. Put the value here beta, and then you will be getting some result like this. And wherever you are finding T by T0, put the value there. I am just giving you this an exercise for you, because as I said, the answer comes out to be root of GA by GB. Because I have solved each and everything to you. T by T0 is given, solved. V0 plus V is equal to GB. Expand this bracket, GB T0 minus GBT. And I took V0 to the other side. And what is the value of V0? GA T0. I will put GA T0 here, and I will expand, because in the question they asked what is the value of V by T. So I think this idea is very much clear to you. I hope you have understood these ideas. This is very simple concept. How to solve, how to execute, because kinematics is one of the easiest topic to deal with, but considering these concepts T0, X0, these are very important when you solve such type of questions. So let's move on to next point. I think idea is very clear. We wrote two equations, V naught, GA, T naught, this value, this value, this value. Then I have equated these two values, got the value like this. I got T by T naught like this. Then I use the equation V naught plus V is equal to this value, V taken there, V naught on the other side. What is the value of V naught? GA T naught, put the value and you will get that result. That's it for this question. Am I right? Nice. See. Now, very important topic, which is the basics of the projectile motion. So what I will discuss with you in this concept. First, a very good smile. It is a very simple topic. It is nothing different from any other motions. It is very simple. Put T0, put X0. One thing we have to add more, because projectile motion is a two-dimensional motion which we usually consider in x-axis and in y-axis only. Done? See, how to solve this idea in the two-dimensional motion. I will give you only the fundamental right now. What fundamental I advise you, follow it very quickly and just have to have this idea in your mind. Yes, this is the fundamental we discussed and I will apply the fundamental like this only. Now how to see? See, beta, prior to that, let me have this discussion. V vector is equal to what? U vector plus what? A vector t. Am I right? When you write this in the coordinate form, it is I cap and j cap. V vector can be written as Vx is equal to Ux plus Axt. Am I right? And Vy is written as Vy is equal to Uy plus Ayt. As I am just thinking of, you know these factors, and for your knowledge, let me write V vector as Vx I cap plus Vy j cap. For your knowledge, A vector as Ax I cap plus Ay j cap. Time remains time, and I'll be using somewhere x, s right now, x I cap plus what beta? Y j cap. Am I right? And next point there comes beta, that point is the u we left with. It is Ux I cap plus what? Uy j cap. So this is the stuff which we will use. And for I cap j cap, when you are writing for s vector beta, you will be writing ut plus what? Half a t square. So you will be writing for s also again, x is equal to what? Uxt plus what? Half ax t square. And y will be like what beta? Y is equal to uit plus what? Half ay t square. So as I said earlier, these two equations are my favorite equations in the kinematics. So because you know the time, you can calculate all the parameters. Am I right? Because u and a are always given in the equation. V, s and t. These are three unknowns, like which you usually find. But if you know the t, you can calculate anything you want to. So I hope you have understood this idea. I'll be applying this method right now in the projectile motion. What is that? See. Again, V is equal to U plus AT, S is equal to what? UT plus half AT square. Writing V vector as Vx, U vector as Ux, A vector as Ax. Written. Then Y component side, V as Vy, U as Uy, Ay into what? T. I'll be using this only. Same way, S vector is equal to what? U vector T plus what? Half A vector T square. So S vector is, I am writing it as X. Am I right? It is like X is equal to Uxt plus half Axt square, and Y is equal to what? Uyt plus half Ay t square. So beta, I will be using these two formats to solve the questions of projectile motion. Okay? See. First idea. See, what is the first idea? You are just throwing a body with a speed u at an angle theta. at an angle theta. So when you have thrown this body out, it moved like this, and somewhere here its coordinates are x, y, what? T. Am I right? Before this projectile falls onto the ground, don't forget to like, comment and share and enroll for the exam, SCORE exam. So prior to that, we have done the things which are very important to us. So I have marked the point P as what? X, Y and what? T. See, how to solve this question now? This coordinate is what? X. This coordinate is what? Y. This is the origin. So see beta, X is 0, Y is 0, T is what? 0. So when you are talking about this point beta, then T is called time of flight. Am I right? Y is termed as 0 and X is basically what here? Sorry, it is R. It is what? R. And R is termed as range. R is termed as the range. Now listen. When you are talking about the component, what is the component of U along x-axis beta? It is U cos theta. What is the component of U along y-axis beta? U sin theta. Am I right? So just I want to make you to understand this idea. I just want to ask you, if someone asks, find the velocity vector and the position vector as a function of time, how you will calculate? See, how you will calculate? Now see how to solve this. As you know, I have discussed U cos theta, U sin theta, so you might be aware of, I am talking about this as Ux, I am talking about this as what beta? Uy. Gravity is acting in the downward direction, I will be taking as minus G. Question comes, why? Because it is acting in the downward direction and our upward direction Y is what? The positive. Y direction is what? Positive. Downward direction of Y is what? The negative. X is happen to be the right side, so it will be taken as positive only. Am I right? Now see. So let me write directly as a result, but I hope you have understood this idea that V vector was equal to Vx I cap plus Vy j cap. So I will be writing V vector is equal to Vx I cap plus what beta? Vy j cap. And what was the value of Vx beta? Just discussed. It was Ux plus Axt. Ax was 0 and Ux you just determined. It was U cos theta. And similarly beta, what is the value of Vy? It is Uy plus Ayt. Vy, and what is the value of Uy beta? Uy is what? You know, in the previous slide, Uy is what? U sin theta. Uy is what? U sin theta. So it will be like U sin theta. And what is the value of Ay? Ay is what beta? Minus G. So I will be writing it as minus G into what? The T. So best part of it is value of V vector comes out to be U cos theta I cap plus what beta? U sin theta minus GT j cap. So that is a point, very simple point to calculate the velocity. So I tell you beta, this is a general formula in the projectile motion. If you have the idea V is equal to U cos theta I cap plus U sin theta minus GT j cap, you can solve any question because you just need to know the time only, right? See. And we have to write the displacement vector. So what do you mean by the word displacement vector beta? What do you mean by the word displacement vector? You know, it is like you draw a straight line like this and you call this as a displacement vector R. And R vector is basically is equal to x component plus what beta? Y component. X component plus beta what? Y component. See, there I have written x component as this axis and this component as the y-axis. So I will be focusing this only. So I am writing for S vector is equal to what beta? Just said x I cap plus what? Y j cap. So I will be focusing more on R vector now. I will be focusing more on R vector now. And what was the value of x beta? It was uxt plus what? Half ax t square, and y is equal to what beta? Uyt plus what? Half ay t square. Am I right? And let's put the values. What is the value of ax? 0. Ux was what? Ux was what? U cos theta. So I am putting x is equal to u cos theta t. Am I right? And I am putting y as what beta? U sin theta t minus what beta? Half g t square minus what? Half g t square. So this is the value for y, this is the value for what? X. So what is the final answer we are predicting for it beta? Final answer we are predicting r vector is equal to u cos theta t I cap plus u sin theta t minus what beta? Half g t square j cap. This is the value of r vector. Now I tell you, this is the important expression in the projectile motion for a position, and this is the important expression for the velocity. It is very, very simple. And I think you might have understood also. Let me recapitulate again. V vector, r vector, function of time, and v vector to be written as vx I cap plus vy j cap. Vx as what? Using the formula v is equal to what? U plus at written. Vy, put the values, getting v vector. And then it is asked as a function of time for a displacement vector, which is what? R vector, which is equal to what? X I cap plus y j cap. And if you remember, I have given you a question, what is the difference between position vector and the displacement vector? It is very, very important. Next, so how to determine the position vector beta? R is equal to x I cap plus y j cap. So then you are right, x is equal to uxt plus half ax t square, and y is equal to what? Uyt plus what? Half ay t square. So put the values of ux, ax, uy, ay, and you get the value of r. So this was very simple concept which we have discussed. So I'll be using the same. See, now let's get into the dip 3 and simply advise again, don't forget to dip 3, and prior to that, just like, subscribe and comment our test, our performa, so that we can meet on the common platform. See, now there comes a point, a body is projected with a speed u at an angle theta, horizontal distance such that at a height y. Now it is very important, beta. He has fixed in the question as y. And instants are given t1 and t2, and locations are given x1 and x2. So he said, what is the value of t1 plus t2 and what is the value of x1 plus x2? Okay, see beta. t1 plus t2 and what is the value of x1 plus x2? See beta, how to solve this question? This is there. You throw a body like this, and when you have projected a body, this angle is what beta? It is theta. This vector is what? The u. And you are talking about a given height y here and a given height y here. This time is what? T1. This time is what? T2, because that was given to us in the question. And the locations are given also, beta. This as x1 and this as what? x2. So question asked is, what is T1 plus T2? What is x1 plus x2? Okay, so it is getting to the same height y 2 times. So what are their values of T1 plus T2 and x1 plus x2? So I just want to tell you, when you are solving, this question, how to solve, because he said, what is the value of x1 and x2? So we know the formula. When we are talking about y, what is the value of y? What is the value of y? It is, because if this was u and this was u cos theta, this was what? U sin theta. So I will be writing y is equal to u sin theta t1 minus half g t1 square. Am I right? Am I right? From there to there. So it is also said, beta, when body has reached up to there, how much time this body has taken? T2. So as I discussed earlier, beta, also, you have to put x0, t0 and y0 everywhere. Am I right? So these are the locations. of this point. So this one is what? The T2. This one is what? The T1. So what we are writing for T1. And see, if you see this diagram also, bete, y is what? Y is what? Again the same, but the point we have taken, this object has taken time T2 to reach this point. The point T2 to reach this point. Am I right? So when we are writing for y is equal to u sine theta minus g T1 square, and for the next part it is written as u sine theta. See beta, the best part of this question is what? We are not focusing where the body has gone, where the body has reached. No. What path body has followed? No. We just focused where the body is projected and where it is. That's it. Just putting the direct facts. Nothing like that. Not to worry about how the process is happening. It's very simple. So y is equal to u sine theta 2 minus what beta? Half g T2 square. So since these two are equal, so we can rearrange them, and what we will get? We can bring this to that side. We are getting half g T2 square minus T1 square is equal to what beta? U sine theta T2 minus what beta? T1. Am I right? And you know beta very well, this is a square minus b square, and when you are solving this result, it is getting T2 minus T1 into T2 plus T1 is equal to what? U sine theta T2 minus T1. So this T2 minus T1 get cancelled with the T2 minus T1. So what I am getting for T1 plus T2 beta? We are getting T1 for plus T2 as 2u sine theta by g. And I know everybody is cheering up because they know the formula. This is called as the time of flight. This is called as the time of flight. Very simple thing, right? So I am just giving you this as an exercise, that what is the value of x1 plus x2. I just tell you a shortcut, because you see this portion is identical to this portion. This portion is identical to this portion. So you bring this x1 to this side. So this will be your x1, and that x1 plus x2 is basically nothing, but it is equal to the range. It is equal to the range. So I am just giving you this as an exercise, that what is the value of x1 plus x2, because you have to go with the same method. There I have used the time concept. There you are to use some x is equal to ut plus uxt plus half axt square, where ax is what? The 0. Now let me solve this question. It's very easy. And how to solve this question? See with it. A body is projected with a speed u at an angle theta with the horizontal, and it is given that at what time they are perpendicular to the initial direction. Very simple, because it is given as body is projected like this. So it's somewhere it was here, and somewhere here its velocity vector was there, and this was making at an angle 90 degree to it. At an angle what? 90 degree to it. So when you are solving this question, then what you are to have an idea, that u vector must be beta what? U cos theta I cap plus what? U sin theta t, u sin theta j cap, and v vector beta. And you remember, just have to recapitulate, v vector is equal to what? Vx I cap plus what? Vy j cap. Am I right? And what was the value of Vx? Vx was ux plus axt, and ax is what? 0. So Vx become what? Ux, and ux is what? U cos theta I cap plus Vy. What is the value of Vy? Vy is equal to Uy plus what? Ayt. And what was the value of Uy? It was u sin theta. Ay was what? Minus g. So what we are getting? U sin theta minus gt j cap. Am I right? And when you go for it, because in the question, what is given? At what instant they will be perpendicular. So whenever the word perpendicular comes in the physics, you take the dot product of the two vectors to be 0. Whenever perpendicular word comes to the physics part, you take dot product of these vector always equal to what? The 0. So what we are writing, v dot u as what bete? 0. Okay. So there, if I write v dot u is equal to 0, what was the value of v? U cos theta I cap plus u sin theta minus gt j cap dot u. What is the value of u bete? U cos theta I cap plus u sin theta j cap equals to what bete? 0. Equals to what? 0. Take I dot I. What is I dot I? I dot I is 1. You know, I dot I, j dot j, k dot k, 1. So I dot I is 1. I dot I is 1. So we are getting u cos theta into u cos theta as what bete? U square cos square theta. Am I right? Plus j dot j. What is j dot j? J dot j is again 1. Because I dot j is 0. So j dot j is 1. So I am writing u sin theta minus gt into what bete? U sin theta is equal to what? The 0. Now when you solve this question, you just multiply bete, you are getting u square cos square theta plus u square sin square theta minus what bete? U sin theta gt equals to what? The 0. Cos square theta, sin square theta, you take the u square common is 1. So u square we are getting what? U sin theta gt. So there one u get cancelled. So we are getting t as what? U by what bete? G sin theta as the answer. This is that time when they are what? Mutually perpendicular. Like this. This is the time. Means this is that time. U by G sin theta is the time of the journey when it becomes perpendicular to the initial direction of projection. So I hope you have understood these ideas. What were the ideas? Very important. T0, x0, and most important to that, kinematical equations that are applicable when accelerations are uniform. And in projectile motion, vector approach we have done. We have just written the vectors. V vector is equal to u vector plus a vector t, and s vector is equal to u vector t plus half a vector t square. My very strong recommendation while solving any questions of kinematics, including projectile motion, use these factors. You can solve the questions very quickly the way we did right now. Now, lastly, take a screenshot of it. Take a screenshot of it because it's a very, very good question. It's a very good question. Just I'm staying there. It's a very good question because it will help you to understand the concepts to be used in the graphical part, how to use, am I right? And some step functions are given to you, means some point functions. What is happening from 0 to 2 seconds? What is happening from 2 to 4 seconds? What is happening to from 4 to 6 seconds? So we use individual expression. So I have used I thought of that I should share it to my students, that if you will understand the idea behind using the limits and using how to use, then it will be very, very good for you all. And what are the plots to be discussed? Velocity time graph and acceleration time graph for the journey. To find the displacement and the total distance traveled from t is equal to 0 to t is equal to 6 seconds, and find the instants when acceleration is 0. You may add find the instants when the velocity is 0, and at what times does the particle return to its initial position. If something is like that happening, then at what time will it come to back to the original position. So this is your today's challenge, kinematics tip, and just dip down into it so that you can get this answer very quickly and very orderly. Am I right? So apart from that, I have taken, I'm sure about it that you have taken this screenshot of it and you will be sending your response to me. Finally, again, lastly, we are concluding our session. This is all about for today's session, and it is always meant for the students. It is always meant for the students so that they can qualify for this exam in order to get the scholarship, cash rewards, as well as the exciting gadgets, and most importantly, the NASA trips, and along with that, up to the 100% scholarship. Am I right? And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and just put a bell icon there so that you can get the update of every upcoming videos. And don't forget, because everything will happen for you, but don't forget at any level that exam dates are 28th of September and 12th of October. Registration link is given to you. It's given in the description box also. Any suggestion, any help, you can send us. And what are the levels, what is the score, that all thing is mentioned in there. You may take a screenshot. It's a national level exam where all the the persons or the brain minds, they will be competing with this score, and they will definitely get the initials in the form of cash rewards. And SCORE is all about largest exam, so you should be competing. You will be competing with the India's brightest student. Means the best part is you are competing with the brightest students. They all have enrolled, and their enrollment process is going on. Don't forget. And eligible classes are 3 to 11. It is very, very important. And mode will be online or offline. Registration is free at this website, and you can get into. And don't forget, I'm saying again and again, don't forget 28th of September and the 12th of October. Okay. So this is there, and schedule is given. You just take a screenshot of it, and the classes is given for 5th, 6th, 7th, and everything there. Don't forget. Then follow us on the Instagram, subscribe our channel, join us on the Telegram, get it on the Google Play, and follow us on the Facebook for each and everything. Like, done. So it's done from my side. Best of luck. See you in the next session. And if you have any doubt or query, you may post it, send it. We'll be doing that. Thank you. God bless you.